Om. ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। परमानन्दमाधवम्। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। Hari Om, everybody. Bittersweet class because we're finishing a wonderful text, but then it's finished. That's the sad part. Wouldn't it be nice to just study this forever? But that's okay. We have to study more things. And we can continue living this text. That's the most important part. Last week, we saw that there was an important turn in the thought flow of this stotram. We began with Kshamayachana. Bhagwan, I have erred. I have made a mistake. I have made many, many mistakes, not only throughout my several lives, but throughout my life lacking sadhana. I have forgotten you, Bhagwan. Ultimately, I have forgotten you over and over again. And Bhagwan, I am seeking your forgiveness. I am accepting my mistake. I am coming in front of you and I am telling you everything I have done wrong without any justification, without any sort of lessening of my aparadha. I am telling you the magnitude of my sins and I am weighed down by that. When we do this, Bhagavan is very pleased. Just by, I had mentioned before, just by the fire of that repentance, that paschattapa, that regret, we actually are purified a great deal. We are actually uplifted by that regret. And that enables us to do the next thing. Because when we truly admit our faults and truly admit our weakness to Bhagwan, his pleasure with us or his happiness at our honesty allows us to do the next step of prayashchitta, resolve to do better, resolve to change. Yes, we resolve to change, but that strength actually comes from Bhagwan's blessing. That strength actually comes from Bhagwan's acceptance of our statement of fault. When he forgives us, then actually we have the capacity to do something different. And that is when we turned into the verse 11, where it shows the Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji speaking to us, or we are speaking to our own minds, and we are saying, "Oh mind, see this beautiful form of Bhagwan that is full of auspiciousness, that is indicative of all sort of beautiful qualities of him. Immerse, oh mind, immerse yourself in that Bhagwan, because anyestu kim karma bhi. What else is there worth doing in this world? There's nothing else, a single thing out in the world that can do anything for me permanently. It cannot make me happy permanently. It cannot give me peace permanently. But that Bhagwan, who has given me everything, who has given me even the freedom to ignore him, that Bhagwan, if I absorb my mind into him, I will get moksha, mokshartham. Do this for the sake of total freedom. Moksha is defined as atyanta dukkha nivritti and paramananda prapti, the cessation of all sorrows forever, and the attainment of permanent bliss. That is moksha. Not some little husk of joy that I'm going around begging for, but the ultimate liberation, the ultimate salvation. That is what Bhagavan can give me. And if that is what he can give me, what am I doing out in the world begging for little bits of happiness from anyone else? Oh, mind, drop it. And the minute we sit, and we had seen last week, the minute we sit and do a little bit of dosha drishti, when we see the faults in all of the sense pleasures in the world, in all of these attachments that we have, by ourselves, we will drop these attachments and we will instead attach to the Lord. Once we truly accept that our only permanent relationship is with that Ishvara, then it is very easy for us to turn our minds to him. Automatically, the mind always goes to the place of highest joy. So if we train the mind, if we convince the mind that our greatest good, our greatest fulfillment is in Bhagwan, automatically it will go. We don't have to do any convincing. In that vein now, we are going to see the last three verses, and verse 12 and 13 are very important for convincing the mind that there is nothing else other than Bhagavan worth contemplating in this world. It is a teaching to the mind that now, in order to resolve, to absorb myself in the Lord, what must I understand about the world? That is the topic of verses 12 and 13. So we'll lead and repeat verse number 12. किं वानेन धनेन वाजिकरिभिः प्राप्तेन राज्येन किम् किं वानेन धनेन वाजिकरिभिः प्राप्तेन राज्येन किम् किं वा पुत्रकलत्रमित्रपशुभिर्देहेन गेहेन किम् किं वा पुत्रकलत्रमित्रपशुभिर्देहेन गेहेन किम् ज्ञात्वैतत्क्षणभङ्गुरं सपदिरे त्याज्यं मनो दूरतः ज्ञात्वैतत्क्षणभङ्गुरं सपदिरे त्याज्यं मनो दूरतः स्वात्मार्थं गुरुवाक्यतो भज भज श्रीपार्वतीवल्लभम् स्वात्मार्थं गुरुवाक्यतो भज भज श्रीपार्वतीवल्लभम्. Let's chant it together. I know you are on Zoom, but I hope you're actually chanting. I can't ask you to unmute and check. Please chant. किं वानेन धनेन वाजिकरिभिः प्राप्तेन राज्येन किम् किं वा पुत्रकलत्रमित्रपशुभिर्देहेन गेहेन किम् ज्ञात्वैतत्क्षणभङ्गुरं सपदिरे त्याज्यं मनो दूरतः स्वात्मार्थं गुरुवाक्यतो भज भज श्रीपार्वती वल्लभम्. Here again, like how in the last verse we said, Kuru is the verb. Oh mind, do this. Absorb yourself in the Lord. Here, the verbal component again is in the last verse, and it is Bhaja Bhaja Shri Parvati Vallabham. Worship, worship, worship Shri Parvati Vallabham. Bhaja, those of you who have studied Bhaja Govindam, you will know, Bhaja has a lot of meanings. Bhaja doesn't mean just to sit and do kirtan, although that is a wonderful worship of the Lord. Bhaja means many things. One famous meaning of bhaja is bhaj sevayam. Bhaj means to serve, to go out there and to serve the Lord in the form of the entire world. That's one meaning. One is, of course, to do one's personal sadhana, whatever that is, whether that is bhajan, kirtan, japa, that also is bhajan. And the highest meaning of bhajan is to serve the mind, serve the Lord through total absorption in the Lord, to completely contemplate on the Lord to the point where I don't exist anymore. Only Bhagavan exists. That also is the highest meaning of bhajan. So, bhaja bhaja Shri Parvati Vallabham. So then, in order to reach this, I have to start asking my mind some important questions. That's where we go to the beginning of the verse. Kim va anena dhanena? What use? What am I going to do with all this wealth? Anena dhanena. What is the use of all this wealth? Or vaji karivihi praptena rajina kim? Or what am I going to do with Vaji Kari actually means horses and elephants. But we should understand this to mean all vehicles and all markers of great wealth and acquisition. What am I going to do with all of this wealth acquisition? Maybe not, elephants and cars. I mean, elephants and horses these days, but maybe it's like cars. Like, what am I going to do with this Mercedes? Instead of Vaji Karibi, it's like Mercedes B or something. What am I going to do with these sorts of statements of prosperity? Then Praptena Rajina Kim, what use of any kingdom that is attained? Kingdom means any sort of power, position. What is the use of all that? Kim va putra, kalatra, mitra, pashubihi. What is the use? What am I going to do with all of these attachments I have to children, putra, kalatra, spouse, mitra, friends and relatives, pashu, animals? In those days, animals was like wealth, but now animals is like pets and stuff. It's still applicable. And dehena gehena kim? What am I going to do with Gehenna, this big house that I have? Guruji said very nicely, it's not a house anymore, it's a palace. What am I going to do with this big house? What am I going to do, Dehena, with this body that I primp and pamper and maintain to utmost capacity? What am I going to do with all that? Jnatva etat kshanabhanguram. All of this, etat, all of this stuff that I have mentioned in these first two lines, wealth, power, position, acquisition, friends, relations, family, all of this stuff, etat, kshanabhanguram jnatva, having understood it to be kshanabhanguram, momentary, moment to moment, it'll disappear. Remember, this is dosha drishti. I am seeing that all of these things, all of my acquisitions, everything I consider to be me and mine and my wonderful life can be destroyed in a second. It can disappear any moment. Either I can disappear or that can disappear. We don't know what will happen in the next moment. All of these things, jnatva etat kshanabhanguram, that it is actually dying moment to moment. That's the other meaning. Kshanabhanguram can mean it can be destroyed in a moment, but it can also mean moment to moment, it is decaying. Moment to moment, it is disappearing, and I'm just not able to see it. Having known this, having jnatva, having seen this very clearly, sapadire, are, oh mind, quickly, immediately, tyajyam mano durataha. Give them up from the mind. Durataha, very far. Keep them very, very far away from the mind. Meaning, don't entertain these thoughts of attachment. Do not indulge in these fascinations, in these hopes and dreams that these things will fulfill me forever. Durataha, keep them far away. And what should I do instead? Swatmartham Guruvakyato Bhaja Bhaja Shri Parvati Vallabham. Shri Parvati Vallabham, the Jagat Mata, Jagat Pita of this whole universe, who have given me everything, actually. Bhaja Bhaja, worship them. Why should I worship them? Swatmartham, this is most beautiful, for my own self, for my own good. Swa Atma Artham. Artham for the sake of Swa Atma, my own self. My own self doesn't mean this, this person, this personality I am. Swatma Artham means my true self that actually is one with that Parvati Vallabham, which is one with that Jagat Mata, Jagat Pita. They're waiting for me. When will you come back? When will you come back and see me? They're waiting for me to attain that swarajya, that kingdom of the self that I have been locked out of for so long. They're just waiting. Swatmartham, for my own self-knowledge. Bhaja bhaja. And how should I do it? This is very important. Guru Vakyataha. We must worship the Lord as per the injunction of the Guru. Whatever the Guru says, I should do. Because the Guru, as we have seen in previous verses, the Guru is not different from that Lord Shiva. That Bhagwan himself comes in the form of the Guru to guide us back to him. And as such, we should follow the Guru's advice to the T. Because the Guru alone knows what I don't know about myself. I may have some idea that this sadhana is good for me, that sadhana is good for me, but actually I don't know. A lot of the times it's a fanciful notion of the mind. But the guru can assess and say this is the correct sadhana to take us back to the Lord. So this is the simple word meaning. Now let's go and see some important points regarding this verse. One important point here is that when we do this sort of questioning, what is the point of this? What is the point of this? It is not to say that these things are evil or these things are bad. Sometimes, especially very ambitious people, young people, they read this sort of thing and they say, what are you, why do you hate wealth? Why do you hate success? Why do you hate prosperity? No, we don't hate that. Nobody's saying don't, attain good standing in life. As grihasthas, our responsibility is to provide not only for our family, but for everybody. What is criticized here is attachment. What is criticized here is this false notion that this wealth will protect me forever. The right thinking is, Bhagwan has given me this wealth. I am a steward of this wealth. I will use this wealth and all of this plenty that I have in order to serve my family and also society, not just me and my own. In fact, Gurudev says that wealth never belongs to an individual. Wealth only belongs to the society. And as such, we have no right to say that I won't earn and I won't do any of that. In fact, I should earn and earn very well, but I must give it. I must give it generously and in plenty to the whole society who has supported me thus far. And then, when my responsibilities have ceased, when that stage of life is over, then I give up all of these things and I turn my mind to the Lord. Guruji gave a very wonderful example. He said, imagine, young children, we give them like stuffed toys, right? Soft toys, like a teddy bear and whatnot. And they will walk around with that teddy bear and we say, oh, so cute, so cute. They love the teddy bear. But then, if an old, like almost a youth, like 17, 18 years old, is walking around with a teddy bear, Guruji said, you'll feel like slapping him. Put that down. Enough of this now. It's the same thing with wealth. Guruji said in his lectures, the difference between children's toys and adults' toys is the price tag. That's it. It's the same mindset. After a certain point, what are we doing clinging to these toys? They're just facsimils of entertainment. They're little husks of joy that we've thrown away the main grain and we are tasting this husk and we're saying, wow, this is so good. How long will we do this? after a certain point, we have to let that go. This is no longer our responsibility, and we have to enter into a new stage of life in which our only priority is the Lord. How long? And Guruji was pretty harsh. He said the longer we cling to it, he said it is below human dignity to crave sense pleasures at a certain point in life. And it's true. Don't we see people who do not let that go and we feel some sort of pity? Isn't there something greater in life than just this? So this is what we mean. It's not that all of this worldly wealth is bad. It absolutely has a role to play. But after it's played its role, we should be able to put that away and say, enough acquiring, enough collecting, enough immersing myself in this. Now my focus is Bhagavan. The second important point that we have to see here when we do dosha drishti is that, this should not render us incapacitated. It should not turn us into nihilists. Oh, what is the point? Everything ends one day. Why should I get up? Why should I brush my teeth? No! In fact, this sort of vision should spur us. It should make us most dynamic. I have to, enough of all this. I have to dedicate myself to that which is permanent. And I'm going to put all my energies towards that. And the realization that pushes us to this is that, we see all this as joy. And as long as we see it as joy, we are not going to let it go. As long as we think there is joy in it, our mind will be drawn to it. But we have to understand that in every joy of the world, there is a hidden sorrow. In every joy of the world, there is a hidden sorrow. It may be the most sattvic joy, it may be the most beautiful joy, it may be the most seemingly innocent joy. But even that has the sorrow that it will end. Won't it end? One day it'll go away. Don't we understand that? We have to learn to see that. As long as we see the shine and sparkle of the world, we will continue to run after it. The minute we see that it has an expiration date, we will throw it out. Because at the end of the day, we want to be happy. So again and again, we have to see that in every joy, there is a hidden sorrow. Every single joy. Whether it is the joy of, caring for this body. One day the body will reject all care and it will decay past anything that we can improve upon it. Whether we see, the sorrow hidden in family and friends. How long are they going to be with us? As good as they may be. One day we all have to part with one another. Who is the one when we realize this, when we see the sorrow that is hidden in every joy, then we will see who has given me this joy and who is going to give me this sorrow. Who is the one who is controlling all this? And that is Bhagavan. And we should turn our minds towards that Bhagavan. Guruji had said something that was so, so impactful for me in this lecture. And he said, other than, on the point of Swatmartham, he said, other than my true self, my Atma, me, other than that true self, nothing in this world is truly mine. Isn't that such a wonderful thought? Nothing in this world is mine. My own body, my own mind, also, they are not mine. Only that true self is mine. It's actually me. But if there's anything I can call as mine, it's that. And nothing else is in my control. When we accept that lack of control, when we accept that, I'm not the exception to the rule, this also will leave me, I'm no different, then we are spurred to push ourselves, push ourselves in the direction of Bhagavan. This is a very powerful verse. And the next verse is in the same vein, and I think it is even more powerful, even more beautiful. It continues in this vein of dosha drishti. It builds this urgency towards in our minds. So let's chant verse number 13. Ayurnashyati pasyatam pratidinam yati kshayam yauvanam. आयुर्नश्यति पश्यतां प्रतिदिनं याति क्षयं यौवनम् प्रत्यायान्ति गताः पुनर्न दिवसाः कालो जगत्भक्षकः प्रत्यायान्ति गताः पुनर्न दिवसाः कालो जगद्भक्षकः लक्ष्मीस्तोयतरङ्गभङ्गचपला विद्युच्चलं जीवितम् लक्ष्मीस्तोयतरङ्गभङ्गचपला विद्युच्चलं जीवितम् तस्मान्मां शरणागतं शरणद त्वं रक्ष रक्षाधुना तस्मान्मां शरणागतं शरणद त्वं रक्ष रक्षाधुना. Let's chant it together. आयुर्नश्यति पश्यतां प्रतिदिनं याति क्षयं यौवनम् प्रत्यायान्ति गताः पुनर्न दिवसाः कालो जगद्भक्षकः लक्ष्मीस्तोयतरङ्गभङ्गचपला विद्युच्चलं जीवितम् तस्मान्मां शरणागतं शरणद त्वं रक्ष रक्षाधुना. Now finally, we have come to a point where we are again praying to Bhagwan. But Bhagwan, now having done all of this vichar, this is what I have understood. This is what I get. And Mam Sharanagatam, me, who has come into your refuge. Oh Sharanada. This is Sharanada is an appellation to Bhagwan. O Sharanada, O Lord, who gives refuge to all beings, Tvam Raksha Raksha Adhuna. Now, Bhagwan, please protect me. Please, please protect me. I have come to this understanding. Now protect me in maintaining this understanding. Please protect my mind. Let it not slip back to the old ways of thinking. I have done my job. I resolve now. I have done my prayashita. I resolve to be better, to absorb my mind in you. But I need your help. So therefore, protect me. Give me your blessing. Raksha Raksha Adhuna. There's an important word, tasmad. Tasmad mam. Therefore, protect me. So the previous three lines we have to understand as yasmad. Because this. Therefore, Bhagwan, I'm coming to you for refuge and protect me. So what is this? Why am I coming to your refuge, Bhagwan? Many reasons are there. One, ayuhu nashyati pashyatam pratidinam. Pratidinam, every day, pashyatam, we see, seeing in front of us, ayuhu nashyati. Our life is destroyed. Our lifespan is melting away. Every moment, I am taking one step closer to death. And in front of my life, in front of my eyes, I am seeing all of this go away. Because of this, because I'm so cognizant of my own temporary existence, Bhagwan, I'm coming to you who is permanent. What is another reason? Yati kshayam yovanam. This youth that I am so proud of, this vigor, this strength. If you remember praudhoham yovanoham, that verse. Yati kshayam yovanam. This youth that right now is propelling me to do everything that I want. Yeah, kshayam yati. It is decaying. It is going to decay. Every single day, my energy is getting less and less and less and less. My time and my energy, both of them are limited. Pratyayanti gataha divasaha punarna. Sorry. Divasaha gataha divasaha punarna pratyayanti. Gataha divasaha. Those days that have gone past. Punaha naha pratyayanti. They do not come back. That time which is lost, those days that have gone by, they don't come back again. The time I have lost is lost. All the time that I've spent not worshipping you, Bhagavan, okay, that is gone. Now I have very little precious time left in this lifetime. And Kalo Jagad Bhakshakaha. Kalaha Jagad Bhakshakaha. Time, the great and terrible force of time, Jagad Bhakshaka, it eats the entire universe. It it destroys everybody without exception. And I finally, Bhagwan, I realize I am not an exception to this. It is going to consume me as well. I see it consuming me day by day. What else? Lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapala. Lakshmi, here this is not Lakshmi Devi. Here this is all material prosperity. All the prosperity of the world. Toya taranga bhanga chapala. It is as fleeting, as transient, as fickle as the ripple in a water, as the breaking of a ripple in a water. You know when a ripple stops or a ripple breaks into foam, like how that wave is so fickle and you don't know in which direction it will move. Like that, prosperity, we don't know when it'll break or in which direction it will move. I have it with me now, Bhagwan, but I don't know what will happen tomorrow. And vidyut chalam jivitam. And my whole life is as long as a flash of lightning. That's how monumental my life is. It is momentary. In the grand scheme of existence, Bhagwan, my whole life passes away in a flash, just like that, like a flash of lightning. Therefore, tasmat, Mam Sharanagatam. Therefore, Bhagavan, I'm coming to your Sharan. I'm coming to your refuge. You help everybody. I am but your insignificant creature being tossed around in this world. And my limited lifespan is also about to go very, very soon. Bhagavan, I am running to you now and I fall flat at your feet. Please, please protect me. Protect me from this world that is so attractive. Protect me from my mind, who is convincing me that I have a lot of time left to do all the things that I want. Please protect me and bring me close to you. There are many, many important points to see in this verse. And one most important point is that we all think, we all think that we have a lot of time. We are all under the illusion that death is somewhere down the line, eventually. But if you really think, sometimes I like to play this exercise of how are all the different ways that my life could end in a day? Just think, just contemplate. How fickle is it? Vidyutchalam. Really, it is as faint or as weakly held together and as temporary as a flash of lightning. Of course, it is Bhagwan's grace that keeps us alive and sustains us. That is a separate point. But the point is, we don't have a lot of time. Life goes by very fast, and we don't know when it will end. If we are cognizant of how little time we have, and that we are not the exception to any rule, everybody else may die, but I will be fine. This game that the mind plays with us, if we break that game and we look at life very objectively, it's very sobering. It's very sobering. And it forces us to reprioritize. What am I giving importance to in life? What do I really care about? Where am I really giving my energy? If I had limited time, once in a youth camp, we did this exercise. Imagine you only have 1 year left of life. Imagine you have only 1 month left. Imagine you have only 1 week left. Imagine you have only 1 day left. How will you live your life differently? And it was interesting to see how our answers changed according to how much time we had left. But the point is, who is guaranteeing 1 year? Who is guaranteeing 1 month? Who is guaranteeing 1 week? We all have limited time. And at the end of the day, who is our ultimate kalyana? Who is our ultimate good? That is Bhagavan. Nothing of this world we are going to take with us. We came empty-handed, we leave empty-handed. We hear all of these platitudes, but it's another thing to hear it, and it's another thing to understand it. What are we going to take with us? Nothing. Only our relationship to Bhagavan persists life after life. So that should be my highest priority. That should be the thing that I devote most of my time and energy to. That is the entity who should be populating my mind all the time, not anything else, because nothing else is going to come with me. Guruji said something most beautiful. He said that when we understand this, then we see that Bhagwan is most generous in that every day he gives us the grace of 24 hours in a day, equally to everybody. And he said, we all have the power to use that 24 hours however we like. So when we become cognizant of how precious a resource time is, we will use it most profitably. We will use it in a direction that is lasting, that will actually stay with us life after life after life after life, and not left behind here. You look at great monuments like the pyramids, where they kept everything, all of their worldly wealth in a tomb. And you think that poor Jiva, what did he take with him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All of that wealth is still there, and now people thousands of years later are looking at it through a glass. That's it. That's all. The same thing we have to look at our life. What pyramids are we building? What tombs are we populating? It can be different for each of us. And the important thing to remember, it can be subtle also. We may be acquiring all sorts of skills, all sorts of habits, perfecting our life in all sorts of material ways. But that's not going to go with us to the next realm. Only Bhagwan, our relationship to Bhagwan, our sadhana bal, the strength from our sadhana will persist life after life. There's some great references now that I would like to share with you. One is a very simple one. Um, Karishyami, karishyami, karishyami iti chintaya, marishyami, marishyami, marishyami iti vismritam. Very simple. Karishyami, karishyami, karishyami. I will do, I will do, I will do, I will do, I will do. Iti chintaya, having thought like this, marishyami, marishyami, marishyami. I will die, I will die, I will die. Iti vismritam. We forget. In the haste of our propulsion to do, we forget that one day it's all going to end. Another most wonderful reference that Guruji shared, it comes from a minor Upanishad, which is Adarena yatha stoti dhanavantam dhanechaya tatha chet vishwakartaram konamuccheta bandhanat. Adarena yatha stoti dhanavantam dhanechaya. Just as with that amount of respect and ardor with which we glorify and try to gain the favor of a wealthy person in the hopes that he will give us some wealth. Imagine, Chet, in that same way, Tatha Chet, if Vishwakartaram, if Bhagwan we worshipped with that much ardor and respect, Kona Muccheta Bandhanat, who would not be liberated from all bondage? The way that we passionately pursue all things of the world and all of the various calculations and machinations we engage in so that we get what we want from other people. Imagine if all that energy and respect we put towards the worship of Bhagwan. How quickly we would be liberated, right? So quickly. Kona muchita bandhanat. It's a very powerful reference, very beautiful reference. It shows the relative disparity between our priorities, and it's something to reflect upon. The main lesson from this verse is, what are my priorities? Where do my priorities lie? And I have to reprioritize because I have limited time. I can't give equal time to everything. I am limited. Therefore, there has to be some order. So then now I have to think critically. What am I going to give time to? What am I going to give my attention, respect, love to? And when we realize that we are most benefited by loving that which is permanent, our life changes for the better. It totally transforms. Not only this life, but future lives as well. If not in this life, then we are putting ourselves in the path to ultimate salvation eventually. That is verse number 13. Ayurnashati pashyatam pratidinam. It's a very powerful reflection exercise to contemplate the fickleness of time. All right, last verse. Last verse of this stotra, most beautiful verse. This one all of us know, so I think we can just chant it together. This is a very popular verse. It shows up in many, many stotrams. And because it is the final verse, we have now come back full circle. And now again, we are asking for forgiveness from Bhagavan. But this time we are doing so with more understanding of what, now that we have gone through and we have analyzed each aparadha individually, now we put them all together in one verse. Through all of my karanas, Bhagwan, I may have done some aparadha. All of those aparadhas, please forgive me and please protect me on my journey forward. And as you can see, this text is very cyclical. We start with Kshamayachana, we go to Prayaschitta. Now, again, we are going to Kshamayachana. It is an indication that we must do this process over and over and over and over again. Because the mind is the mind. We don't expect it to be perfect. Once we study this text, perfect, Prayaschitta finished. No, we can again do Kshamayachana, and Bhagavan accepts that, and he loves that. So here, we are doing this Kshamayachana with greater awareness of everything that we have learned so far. Let's chant this together. Karacharanakritam va kayajam karmajam va shravananayanajam va manasam va paradham vihitam avihitam va sarvametat kshamasva jaya jaya karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो. The final line is most beautiful. Jaya Jaya Karunabdhi. The most important word is Karunabdhi. Here, after studying so much, we realize that Bhagavan is Karunabdhi. Hey Karunabdhe, you are the ocean of compassion. I see how many mistakes I've made so far. I see that I'm resolving to be better, but I may fail. Despite all of that, you still accept me. You still love me. You protect me and you will give me strength. Therefore, Bhagavan, Jaya Jaya, be victorious. Now, Bhagavan is ever victorious. So why are we saying Jaya Jaya? Bhagwan, be victorious over my mind. Bhagwan, may you come to rule over me. You are victorious everywhere. I know that. The planets and the sun and the wind and the stars, everything obeys you except me. Everything in the world follows your rule except this mind. So please come. Please come, enter my mind and take control. Jaya Jaya, may you be victorious. And all of this Maya and Maya Vikara, all of this effects of Maya that are trapping me, Bhagwan, Jaya Jaya, be victorious, keep that away from me. Please protect me from all of that. It's a most wonderful prayer. Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe, Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Oh Lord, you are Shri Mahadeva. You are the Lord of all lords. Some people taste a little bit of power and they go crazy. But you, having absolute power, in fact, you are Karunabdhi. That's the most beautiful part. You are the ruler of everybody and everything, but you have ultimate love for everybody. Hey Shambho, oh Lord, please, please win over me. The first three lines build up to this beautiful conclusion, and it's again Kshamayachana. Here, each part of our personality is taken up and said, Bhagwan, I may have done some mistake or some aparadha with this part of my personality. And all of those things, Bhagwan, please forgive me. As you can see, it's a very holistic look at myself. It's not going, like part of my life, part of my life, and it's not going by different sadhanas. Now I'm looking at myself as a whole, at any sort of aparadha that I may have done. So, kara charana kritam. Any sort of aparadham. So, aparadham you see at the end of the second pada. Va aparadham. Now, each of these aparadhas, each of these is an adjective to that aparadham. Kara charana kritam. Va kayajam. Karmajam. Shravana nayanajam. Manasam. Vihitam avihitam. Aparadham. These are all the different types of faults, all the different types of mistakes. So, first one is kara charana kritam, done by my hands and feet. This indicates the entire physical body. So, Bhagavan, any sort of fault I have committed with my physical body. So, what should we remember? Aparadha is characterized by omission and commission. What did I not do, and what instead did I do? Like, what did I forget to do, and what did I direct my energy towards that I was not supposed to do? So, my physical body, what am I supposed to do? Well, Bhagwan, I am supposed to worship you first, physically, with my body through puja, and I'm supposed to serve you through the whole world. This whole world is your manifestation, and I, through my body, I'm supposed to serve you. But instead, what did I do with my kara and charana? What did I do with my body? I instead pampered it. I pampered my own body. I indulged my body. In essence, I indulged in selfishness with my body. I did not serve. That was the aparadha done with my body. Then vak, kayajam, karmajam. So born, that aparadha born from my body and speech and through my karmas. So what am I supposed to? Vak here, speech, indicates all of my organs of action, all of the things that I can do. But specifically speech, what am I supposed to do? Speech, Bhagwan, the greatest thing I can do with my speech is I can sing your praises. And I can serve people through my sweet speech. I can make speech an ornament on myself. Instead, what did I do? I indulged in gossip. I indulged in harsh words. I indulged in all these things that hurt people. And I ignored you. Instead of singing your praises, my sacred speech. That Saraswati Devi on my tongue. What terrible things I made her do instead of speaking wonderful things about you. Bhagwan, instead of your sacred name, I have spoken about everything else in the world. That is the aparadha related to my speech. Kaya, vak we covered. Karmajam. Karmajam here relates to sadhana. Bhagwan, I did all things in the world for my own personal gain. But that karma that would lead to my ultimate gain of moksha, the ultimate gain of my realization, Bhagwan, that karma I did not do. That most important karma I did not indulge in. I did not take up. Instead, I was indulging in all personal benefit. So, karacharanakritam, vakayajam, karmajam. Now, shravana nayanajam. Here, shravana, hearing, nayana, seeing. Born from my sight and from my hearing, the aparadha. This indicates all my senses. But specifically, shravana. What is the most important thing I can do with my shravana? Is to listen to Bhagwan's glories, to do Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasam, to listen to the knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Vidya. That Shravanam, that sacred Shravanam, to understand the scriptures. That I didn't do. Instead, I listened to everybody. Guruji said very sweetly, he said, people say, did you know? Do you want to hear about what happened with that person? He said, if they say that, say, no, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear all that. I have heard everything of the world. I have seen everything of the world, except Bhagwan, what relates to you. I did not listen to the scriptures. Bhagwan, I did not meditate on your form. I did not see your form. I did not go to a temple, go to sacred places to see your form. All the sacred inputs to my senses, I kept away. And all worldly things I let in without discrimination. Bhagwan, this harmed me the most and I didn't see my folly. I'm sorry. Bhagwan, kshamasva. Bhagwan, forget me. And manasam. This is the most important. Bhagwan, what thoughts did I entertain? Every thought of the world of who I am I better than this person? Is this person better than me? Am I going to gain this from there? Am I going to lose this? Everything I have thought about, everything I have entertained. But your sacred form, your Leela, your essential nature as the support for this whole world, that I did not put my mind towards that. That is the greatest of all of these aparadhas. This is the most important one. Because outwardly, we can engage our body and senses and everything. But if the mind is not with us in our sadhana, if the mind is not aligned with our senses, body, and speech in all of these previous steps, then none of that counts. Absolutely none of it counts. Most important thing is my mind in Bhagwan. That, if you remember, we had discussed before that Gurvashtakam verse. It doesn't matter how much vairagya it has, it doesn't matter how much vivek I have, it doesn't matter if I'm not attached to the world. Is my mind absorbed in Guru Rangri Padma, in the lotus feet of my Guru? That is the most important thing. You know, if we really analyze how much effort we put into attaining and maintaining things for ourselves and for our own personal gain, how much we calculate. Okay, I have to talk to this person, but this person is like this, so I have to speak to them at that time, and then I have to text them in this particular way, and then if they get upset, then I have to mollify them, and then, and then we have to maintain a good relationship, then they'll give me that one. It never ends. It never ever ends. And really, it's tiring. We should observe. We get tired of it. Why not put our mind to that compassionate Bhagwan who says, just say my name? By accident, also, if you say my name, Bhagwan says, I love it. What did Ratnakar do? He said, Mara, Mara, Mara. And then he said, Ram, Ram, Ram. Did Bhagwan care? No, he was most happy. He gave him liberation. That Bhagwan, all of these people, we're jumping through hoops to satisfy them. Our mind is churning always to how to please them. Why not please Bhagwan who's okay with patram pushpam phalam toyam? He's only asking for a leaf. He's only asking for some water. He's only asking he's only asking us to say Hari Om Bhagwan, how are you? And he's happy. He's Ashutosh Bhagwan. He's so easily pleased. That Bhagwan, why don't I put my mind towards him? Really, out of everybody, doesn't he love me? Nobody else seems to really love me. Only he loves me. So Manasam, that aparadha is most egregious because really Bhagwan is asking the least of our thoughts. He's only asking us to say his name. He's only asking us to say hi, hello, Hari Om once in a while. That is the greatest aparadha, that we didn't even do that much. So Bhagwan, forgive me. Forgive me. I didn't fix my mind on you. And as we slowly begin to fix our mind on him, Bhagwan, forgive me that I did not absorb my mind in you. Maybe I am fixing my mind in you, but I have not gone to the heights. I've not totally absorbed myself in you. Manasam va aparadham. Vihitam avihitam va sarvam etat kshamasva. Here, very clearly, the idea of omission and commission is brought out. Vihitam, what is ordained, what I'm supposed to do, I did not do, which is the sin of omission. And avihitam, which is not ordained, which is nishiddham, which is forbidden, I did that, which is the sin of commission. Bhagavan, I did what I was not supposed to do. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. All of this aparadha, sarvametat, all of this, kshamasva, please, please forgive me. Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Therefore, Bhagavan, at the end of it, what can I say? But you take control. I resolve. I resolve to do my best. But at the end, I see how wonderful, how glorious, how compassionate you are. I see that only you can do it. I will do my best, yes, but I see that I'm a limited individual. I surrender myself. Hey Sharanada, I surrender myself to you. May you be victorious over me so that one day may we unite. May I know you in your true nature. May I revel in your love. And may this story of samsara finally end at your lotus feet. And that is how this beautiful, beautiful text of Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram finally ends. It is a wonderful textbook on how to build a relationship with Bhagwan. I am so grateful to all of you that I got this opportunity to reflect on this text. I offer this reflection at the feet of Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya, the great, great saint, that Bhagavat Avatara who wrote this text. I offer this reflection at the feet of Gurudev, Puja Gurudev, and the Guru Parampara, my Acharya, and of course at all of you who inspired me, who helped me, who gave me this opportunity to study along with all of you. My pranams to Puja Gurudev, to Bhagwan, and to all of you. Now, it is customary at the end of every text to again chant the first verse. So let's all open up our books and let's all chant the first verse together. This signifies that we will always study repeatedly, repeatedly, and mine the beautiful depths of this text over and over again through our personal reflection and our lived practice. आदौ कर्म प्रसंगात् कलयति कलुषं मातृकुक्षौ स्थितं माम् विण्मूत्रामेध्यमध्ये क्वथयति नितरां जाठरो जातवेदाः यत् तत्र दुःखं व्यथयति नितरां शक्यते केन वक्तुम् क्षन्तव्यो मे पराधः शिव 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 भो श्रीमहादेव शम्भो क्षन्तव्यो मे पराधः शिव 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 भोः श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। हर हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om all. Wishing you a happy, happy, happy journey with this text over and over and over again. I will continue to read it. I'm so glad I could share this text with you. Many thanks to your patience with me. This was my first time. So my humble, humble, humble gratitude to all of you for bearing with me in my first time in a talk series. I look forward to studying and growing with all of you in the future. Let us conclude. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ। Hari Om, everybody. One small announcement. So you would have probably received an email along with the link to this class about Guru Dakshina. So I'm going to put the Guru Dakshina link again in the chat. I'm sure some of you have already sent. This is available on our website and also in the email that you got or the WhatsApp message that you got. Again, I will reiterate what I said last week, that for those who weren't there, that Guru Dakshina is an integral part of our traditional learning system, our Guru Shishya Parampara. And very crucially, it's not a fee. It's not a payment, because whatever we get from the Guru Parampara is priceless. We can never ever put a fixed amount on it. And it is only a token of gratitude to Puja Gurudev who gave us. He was the one who imagined, who had this vision of this sort of learning. Otherwise, in this country, where would we get this opportunity, you know? So to give back to him, to Puja Gurudev, this small token of whatever you can afford, whatever you feel is appropriate, as per your Shakti, as per your Bhakti, as per your Shraddha, whatever you would like to give, you may give as a token of gratitude to our Puja Gurudev. And of course, Chinmay Mission Orlando, they will use this to fund all sorts of seva projects in the greater Orlando area. So that is all. That's the only announcement I had. Thank you. Hari Om, everybody. See you soon. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om, thank you.
Hari Om.